Hi there, I'm Karen McCarthy and it's time to Karen-ize. Today's Friday, that's when we do some crafting. And I want to stop first and thank my subscribers. I so appreciate everything you're doing to help grow the channel. When you subscribe, when you give me a thumbs up, when you make comments, and when you share, that really helps. And I would love it if you guys would make some comments. I would just really love to hear from you. What you think about the project we're doing, where you are, what kinds of crafting you enjoy, anything like that, I would love to know. So anyway, let's get started on today's project. So for today's project, we're going to take this Dollar Tree corkboard from the Shore Living collection, and we're going to turn it into something that fits the decor in my office. I love the ocean theme, but I don't have room for anything like this, and I did have a need for a little corkboard in my office. So my office is sunflower themed, so we're going to take this napkin and do some things with it to decorate this. So the first thing I'm going to do is paint it. I'm just using some home decor white chalk paint. I'm just going to paint the whole thing, including the frame and everything. Oh, let me take the little hanger off first. So just going to do a quick coat. It's not going to have to be super great. And I'm just using a foam brush because I can paint so much faster with them when I'm just doing a base coat like this. So I'm going to paint this. While I'm painting it, again, I would just love it if you would tell me where you're from. Do you do a beach theme in your home at any time of the year? Are you lucky enough to live by the beach? I'm hoping to move to the beach when we retire, but I don't know. We'll see. At least visit. I live in Montana and I don't get to go to the beach very often. I grew up in California, and even though we didn't live close to the beach, I didn't go that often. We did go a few times when I was growing up. So I really like the beach theme, and I love to beach comb. I've only done it in a couple of places, and there wasn't an abundance of shells at either place. I did have one place in Washington where I can get little pieces of sea glass, so I have a sea glass collection. But I would love to, my dream is to go to Florida or some other place where the beaches are just full of shells and all kinds of shells. Been watching videos on YouTube, so I'm learning the names of the shells. All right, so that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to let that dry, and then we will come back. Actually, I'm going to start preparing some of this stuff. So let me just put my lid on my paint. I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't get paint all over. I'm going to grab this. Well, maybe. My hands don't work as well as they used to. I don't know if it's my age. I just turned 66, so that was kind of a shock. I'm going to just, maybe I'll grab some scissors. Where are my scissors? I just rearranged and kind of made my crafting area a little more convenient, I think. But I'm still remembering where I put stuff. I'm just going to cut that so I don't have as much to work with. So when you are decoupaging, which we're going to decoupage this onto that painted surface, first thing you want to do if you're using a napkin is to separate all the different plies. Now this is only a 2-ply, so my heater is blowing it around. Let me get it down here. I only needed to separate once. I save this and just use it like a paper towel or a napkin. And when you are decoupaging, like I'm just going to do parts of this, like just the little pieces. You don't want to cut like I did here. If I cut and then decoupage, you're going to see that edge. So we're going to just kind of soften the edges with some water. It's amazing how it works. And when I put it on there and then decoupage over the top, you're not even going to see. So I'm just going to take my paintbrush just around the edges, just making sure I'm trying not to get that design wet because I don't want it to tear. I'm just going to go around it. Actually, I'm going to go here too. I'm just going to take one part of it at a time. I'm not sure if I'm going to use that part around the edges or something, but so I'm going to save it for right now. I'll just kind of pull this apart very gently. Get this stuff out of the way, not onto my painted thing that's still drying. Okay. Then I'm just gonna take my fingernails. I'm gonna put my fingers right on the picture so I don't tear it, and I'm just going to, and sometimes I don't use my fingernail, sometimes I just grab something like this and use it to pull it away. Just depends on how well it's working. Maybe my fingernail today. And see how it's kind of just jaggedy? It's amazing how that causes it to disappear when you put the decoupage over it, or the Mod Podge over it. If I say put decoupage over it, just know that I'm meaning Mod Podge. I get my words all, my hands aren't working and my words are not always working, so just bear with me. It's that getting old, I guess. I don't feel like I'm that old. Okay. Sometimes when I'm focused, I can't talk and focus at the same time. Used to be able to. I remember what to do with my water. I remember in my early teaching days when I was still fairly young, I could be sitting at a table reading, have a kid across from me reading, and I'm following them up with the print upside down. Have one kid on one side of me who's doing math and asking questions. One on the other side who was doing a writing assignment. I remember this one day, and that person kept asking how to spell things, and so I had taught them sign language on the alphabet. And so I would finger spell to that one, answer the question to the one over here, and still be able to listen to the one reading. I don't know how I did that. Okay, so can't do that anymore. So here's what it looks like. And I'm going to turn the camera off, and I'm going to cut out the rest of these, and then we will see if the paint is dry, and we will decoupage. Okay, so I'm just finishing getting those edges on my border that I'm going to be making. This one, since it was so long and skinny, was easier to pick up and do this way. And there we go. All right, so here is my board. Now I don't have it painted super well, but I'm probably going to distress it later. So I'm just gonna see how this is gonna look, how many of these I need. I'm sure I cut out more than I needed, but I think only 3 is what I'm going to do. And I'm trying to decide. I think I do want another coat. That's just a little bit more streaky than I want. So let me just paint another coat on and let it dry, and I will be back. So even with the second coat, it was looking a little streaky. So I'm just giving it some texture just by dabbing. I have little dabber brushes, but I'm just going to use this, and it's working just fine. So I'm putting it on a little bit thicker, and then just adding some texture, which I kind of like texture anyway. So I'm not unhappy that I'm having to do this. And that will do it. Now I'll let this dry, and I'll be back to decoupage. Okay, it's dry, or pretty dry. And I've got my Mod Podge, almost gone. I have to get some more. And I've got my little cutouts. So I'm just going to put a layer of Mod Podge on this. I'm going to put it everywhere, not just where I'm putting my napkin pieces, just for consistency, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to put it on the edges. I haven't done this big of a piece before all at once like this, so we'll see. I'm not sure how quickly the Mod Podge dries. I think I'm okay though. I love doing Mod Podge on glass jars. I save like our spaghetti sauce and pickles and all those kind of jars, and then put some Mod Podge napkins on there and fill them with either artificial flowers, depending on the year or the time of year, or real flowers, and then give them to people. So bright and cheerful, and so quick and easy. Okay, so there's that part. So I am just going to, and I'm going to get, I'm going to get this little baggie and use it. Actually, I can probably put my hand inside it use it to smooth it down, because the napkins get kind of fragile when you're putting them on the Mod Podge. And if you touch it with your fingers to get out all the wrinkles and smooth down the edges, sometimes you can tear it. Where if you're using like saran wrap or a grocery bag, now that's got a lot of air under it. I'm going to lift that up. Hopefully I can. Oh boy. I wonder if there's another ply. I'm just going to put some Mod Podge on that. I thought it was only a 2-ply. Maybe I forgot to take the ply off of that one. That could be. Okay. I'm just going to put just a light coat over the top here, and you can see, you'll see, well, it's white right now, but it dries clear, and you won't even really be able to tell where the edges of the napkin edges are. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to put this one. It doesn't feel like it's got another. Let me see here. I don't know. If it does, it's a very thin one. I'll just use my sponge brush and just do it this way. A lot of times I wait to do the top coat till later when it dries, but I don't know, this one's being kind of weird, so we're just going to do it now. Okay, one more, and then I've got 3 more for another project that are already cut out, so I'll have to put those somewhere safe, where I'll probably forget where I put them. No, I'll just put them in my I have a box with all my napkins in them, because I watch for cool napkins when I'm shopping, and then there are some sites that you can go on. Can't remember what it is right now. If I think about it, I'll put it in the description box, where you can go and buy individual napkins. And, you know, sometimes they're a bit pricier, of course, but they're the really cool ones. Okay, now I'm hoping that I have enough of this. If not, I'll go grab another napkin. I am just going to put this right on the edge. Being very careful with my hand here. And it curves right here, so where's my water? I'm just going to cut this napkin right there so I can make that curve a little bit better. There we go. Try not to use my fingers too much. You know what, I think I'm going to cut this edge off right here so that it goes straight across on the bottom. Okay. I'm not going to worry about anything that's going off the edge. I'll show you what we do that is so simple after it's dry. You don't want to do it until it's dry. So after it's dry, whoops, I moved that napkin a little bit. After it's dry, I will show you. Some people with a napkin, they don't even put Mod Podge under it. I just always do, see, look how it's not sticking. I think that Mod Podge started to dry a little bit. Let me use this. Come on, get down. I usually don't have something like that happen. I'm not sure exactly how to fix it. After it dries, it probably won't matter. It'll be puffed up a little bit, but where this is going to be, you won't even be able to tell. So I'm not going to worry about that too much. But I do think I will put a new coat here. It looks like, I don't know what that is. got napkin glued to my finger. All right. I'm gonna just pull that off. Got a little too crazy right there, I guess. All right, now line it up. Maybe. There we go. I do dip my brush on a paper towel or something just to get the big part of the water off, because I don't want it to, you know how water spreads? I don't want it to spread into the design. Okay, then let's put some of this here. Actually, I'm going to start going around like this, and, well, no, this one's about the size to do this, so let's just do that. All right. Now, let's do the bottom here. I'm hoping that I have more than enough so that I don't grab it. Oh, I have this much left. I had to get the border stuff off of a different napkin to have enough to go around here. So I just wouldn't be, pull that up here. I wouldn't be using a border with the pictures from that napkin. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me. But I have, like, this was a napkin that I got either at Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby, Michael's, someplace like that. And it was a pack. So I have several. All right, let me just get those edges down. I really did like the octopus, but I had it up in my office, and it's like, you know, I'm just a little OCD about my decorating, and I just couldn't handle an octopus in my sunflower room. I don't know. All right, let's tear that off. All right. I might have just enough. Let's get the edges on this side, or did I already do that? It's one of those days where I don't even know what I've done. Put that down. I want to get them all down so that you don't see those edges when it dries. Okay. Now I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to turn this around, because I know me, and if I try to reach over all of that, I'm going to end up with Mod Podge all over me. Okay. Just put a little bit more here. And I will just whip this around like that. And I had exactly enough. So I can save that other one for another project. Cool. Oh, got some little piece of paper coming off there. All right. So now I will let that dry, and I will show you how to finish the edges. I figured as long as I have my Mod Podge out, I am going to finish this dragonfly. I have been wondering what to do with it. Had a bubble there. I really didn't feel like painting it, but I got these napkins that I think would make really cool wings. So I'm just going to take, and this is a, what is it? Dark Night Blue Delta Cream Coat. My paints, if I am talking about paint colors, and they're these little bottles, I have no idea if those colors are still available. I have been gifted a bunch of paint, and I don't know how old it is. It still works terrific. So it's great, but I have no idea if that color is still available. So it's a dark blue. In fact, it almost looks black in the bottle. And I thought that might be kind of fun instead of painting it black. So I'm not going to do the back because I will have this hanging. It's not going to be twirling around or anything, but I want to do the sides. Whoa, as I just got, at least I got it on my mat and not my new little dress shirt, long shirt that I got the other day. Went to a garage sale and got a great deal, $2 for some brand new clothing. So I got a couple of things. All right. So now if I were doing this to sell, I would be finishing both sides, even if all I did was paint the other side just so it looked finished. But it's just for me, and I'm not going to go to all that just for that. So I'm going to see if I can paint in these little, oops, let me see if I can poke it through. Oh, I guess the hole itself is not completely open. Okay, get these little nooks and crannies. And I'm going to just dry it with my heat gun real quick. So I can do the second color. I've got Mod Podge all over my hands. Did you, when you were a kid, did you ever put Elmer's glue on your hands just so you could peel it off? Or make Elmer's glue fingernails? Oh my goodness. We were so creative with our Elmer's glue. Okay, that's pretty done. Let me take that bit of napkin that I took off, and I'm going to wipe this up before I get it all over me. I do that. I make a mess sometimes. Okay, so we're just going to paint this again. Get it a little thicker on there. I wonder if I want to give it a little texture. I think I do. So let me go grab something and I will give it a little texture. Because you know the bodies of butterflies and other critters have some texture. So I'm just going to dab. I might have to put a little bit more on to do it. Yeah. I'm just going to pour some right there. Oh yeah, now it's getting the texture. I don't know if you can see it. In fact, I gotta come up here. My camera is above me now, so, okay, there, sorry, I didn't have you quite in frame. Oh yeah, that's giving it a nice little texture. All right, so that's all of that part, and I will dry this and be back to decoupage. Okay, it's dry, so let's get the napkin ready. Oh, well, good thing I'm just doing little pieces, because these napkins just have the design in the center, so not a good one to do a large project with. I mean, you could try and match these up, but I prefer not to work that hard. Okay. This one is sticking just a little bit more. You can always, I mean, I shouldn't say always, a lot of times tell the more expensive the napkins are, the more the plies are stuck together, and also a lot of times how many plies there are, because sometimes I know there's up to 3, I'm not sure if there's 4. Okay. So I think just to make things a little easier, I am going to find my, or get a paintbrush to get wet, because I think I took that other paintbrush over. Sorry, I'm looking for my water. Trying to make sure that I am in frame, because the one thing about the new stand is I don't have as wide a frame, although I think I don't know, I haven't played around with it enough to know how high I can extend it when I am having it above my project. I know that it has a, it's not a pole, I don't know what you call it, that'll go up pretty high if the phone is just facing forward, but when it's upside down like this, I'm not quite sure haven't played around with it enough. So I might be able to, whoops, didn't get that spot, get it to go a little higher and have a little bigger surface that you're seeing. All right, let's take this one off. I probably could have just cut this, but just in case, I'm doing it this way. All right. Okie dokie. All right, get the water out of the way so I don't spill it all over. Bring it back. Now, I am not sure. I'm going to experiment and see if I can, after it's dry, then go to the back side and poke out all of this so I still have all of that detail there, but I may not be able to. And you know what? I need to paint the wings white so that the brown does not show through. So I'm going to do that, let it dry, and I'll be back. All right, we are ready to go on to step 2. So I am just going to take some Mod Podge. If you don't know what that is, that's what I use. And I'm just going to put it, actually, you know what? I'm going to do a coat over the whole thing. And that will get everything with the same finish. I will probably spray these with a matte sealer because I think I'll have this out on my patio. And even though we, I got a mess going on. Even though we have like a canopy over our patio, it probably gets exposed to the elements a bit. So I just want to have it protected. By the way, I glued 2 of these, either from Dollar Tree. I glued 2 of them together. Jody on Jody's Craft Room had that idea just because they are a little thin to start out with, and this just makes them a little more durable. A little more substantial. Okay. And I am going to just pat that down. I'm going to use my scissors and just cut off the extra to use on the other side. I'm just going to smooth that. I'm going to let it dry, and then oh goodness, excuse me. I will come back and show you how I'm going to get that off and how I'm going to finish the one that we did earlier, the cork board that I'm using for my office. All right, I think I'm going to put a little coat over the top. Like I say, a lot of times I wait until it's completely dry and then do it. I don't think it matters as long as it's not so fragile that you're tearing it when you're putting the top coat on. And a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot, but some, don't even put the coat underneath if they're using something as thin as a napkin, because that Mod Podge will go all the way through. I don't know, I put it on before and after. When I put it on before, it helps it not to move around, because I'm a disaster waiting to happen most days, and I don't need even any help in that direction. All right, we're gonna let that dry, and then we'll come back to finish it off. Okay, it's dry, so let me show you. Let me grab this first, and I'll do this one. So when you have the rough edges like this, it's super easy. Just get a sanding block or nail file even maybe. And let me hold this better, and just go along the edges, and it will take off all the, excuse me, my sanding block is, I think, kind of getting old. It'll take off all those rough edges and make a really nice, clean edge. Maybe. Always go this way. Don't go this way towards what you decoupage, because that could peel it up a little bit. All right, so that's all you do. And rather than, well, it's not going to take that long to finish this. I actually don't know if I'm in frame. I think this turned out so cute. So look at that. That's my little cork board. I've still got some sanding to do here, but turned out really cute. Let me see if it's in frame so you can see. Whoops, this way. It turned out really cute. Now this did kind of make it stiffer than cork, but I think I can still put, what do you call it? Thumbtacks in there. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing on the edges of the wings. Some of these spots are gonna be a little harder, and I might have to even get a nail file. I don't know if I have one over here or not. Let me see. I used to. But I don't see it. So we're just gonna make do with this. I might have, let me get my little thing of all my sanding blocks. I think I do have a little piece of sandpaper, if it's still got any sanding ability on it, to get into this little corner. Sometimes it's so easy, and today, last time I did a video, it wasn't either. I think I need to, let's see, I think I have a sanding block here that I haven't used. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh man, that was it. I just need to throw that sanding block away because it's not very, not sharp, what would you call it? Oh yeah, so much easier. But I think I am gonna have to, let's just tear this. Let's see if I've got, I don't know if these are still usable or not. I'm just gonna go back and forth this way, see if I can get it off. Just gonna get one of them done, then we're gonna try to do the little holes. You can kind of see them. Oh, my dog, he just kissed my toe, and his our nose did, because it was very cold. Come on. Here we go. We'll get this one. So much easier when you have something that actually still has sandpaper on it. They look like they do, but they were not doing very well. Okay, let me just, okay, so we've just got that one. So let's see, I've got these little cutting pins. Where's my, that I got from Temu. I think that I can use them. Let me get it the right way. Maybe, maybe not. Thought I could use them to cut. I know I can get these cut out. Because I like those little cutouts. They just give it a little bit more interest. And then I don't know if I can get this. Why is that so hard to do? I wonder if I can. I don't think they're long enough to go all the way through. I think the problem is that the Mod Podge kind of clumped up in there and dried, and so it's a little thicker in there. But if I just scrape it a little bit, then you'll at least be able to see it, even if it doesn't go all the way through. And you'll still get that detail. So, a little trickier to get the edges on something like this, but if I just go like this, I think it'll work fine, yeah. These little, they look like little smiles. I'm gonna call them little smiles. They are so tiny, I don't think I could even cut a nail file down enough to use in them, so I'm just gonna do that. But anyway, so you can see how easy that was. I'm gonna do some more cleanup here. I didn't quite get all of it because this is not real, I'm gonna say sharp because I don't know what other word to use. You know what I mean. There we go. So I'm going to finish the rest off camera. You definitely don't need to watch me do all of that. And I will show you the finished products when I'm done.